Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I am Karina Calhoun. I am your business strategist for introverts. Today, this business spotlight, we have the amazing and awesome LaShonda Williams. I'm super thrilled. LaShonda, we've been trying to get this going for a minute now. We've had some issues. I was sick. Let's see, I was sick the end of December, and you were gracious and said, okay, we can reschedule. And then today we were trying to get on. We had tech issues, but nonetheless, we prevail, right? We keep going.
Yes,
It's all about being victorious. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome. I'm doing amazing. I'm super thrilled to be talking with you. Um, so, I want to get into a couple of questions first. Where are you located? Where in the world are you? Tell us where you are.
I reside in Kosciuszko, Mississippi. So I'm a little southern, a little country. So that's where I'm located.
Ain't nothing wrong with being country. Listen, I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Deep country where, we had uh corn growing out in the yard. We had watermelon. We had all kinds of stuff. All kinds of vegetables, still do all of that stuff. So listen, country is good. Country
I
is
love
absolutely,
country. I
you know,
love country.
the quietness of it, being able to
Quiet.
hear the birds and hear, the crickets and just feel the wind and the breeze. It is, listen, honey, don't, I will take a ride today. Do you hear me? So I want to know, I have a couple of questions. This is a business
Okay.
spotlight. So for those that are watching, whether you're watching the live, you're watching the replay. I love to do these business spotlights here in the community simply because I want you all to get accustomed to being interviewed, to being live. And I figured, what's the best way to do that other than for me to help you? And so
Great.
this allows you to get comfortable with it so that you're able to really get your business products and services out there. Because at the end of the day, if you're not visible, then your business is not visible. If your business is not visible,
Right.
then guess what? No one's going to know to buy from you. You're the best kept secret. You don't want to be
Yes.
that business.
No, I don't.
So, exactly. So, I have a couple of questions that I wanted to ask you. What inspired you? And we'll get into what your business is and how you're serving the world around you. But I want to
Okay.
ask you a couple of questions first. What inspired you to start your own business? And what's the story behind it?
Well, my story may be a little different from other people. What inspired me to start my business was going through what I went through as a child and growing up. I struggled with being sexually abused, and I saw the trauma and the things that it caused in my life. And so once I went through my healing journey and my deliverance journey, I um I saw how it affected other women as well. And so I wanted to be able to help them to overcome the issue and walk in, I used to say self confidence, but I also say that as well. But I say God confidence because, I went being able to go through my healing journey and where it has me today. I would love to help other women on their healing journey so that they can know that they can live and have a life and live the fulfillment. They can thrive in their purpose that they were created to thrive in after abuse. There is life, there is joy, there's fulfillment after abuse. So that's kind of like what gave me this to help other women, and the joy that I see once I work with my clients and the joy that I see once they come through their healing journey, that's priceless.
That is awesome and amazing. So, and I want to say this, that I haven't done any research. I don't know statistics, but I know there are more women who have been assaulted than not. And I
Yes.
know that there are more women who don't speak about it than not. And
Yes.
so I love that you are in the forefront. You're on the battlefield with and for these women, because sometimes, you know, women, we've been told we don't need to talk about this. We don't need to bring this up. Let that stay
Yeah.
in the past. And so these things can absolutely 100% affect us in so many areas of our life, including business. And I know that sounds, some people are probably like, well, how can that affect us in business? Because we can have lack of trust, we can have self
Yes.
doubt. There's so many different things. So I want to ask you, what are some of the challenges that you face on this journey to bring this service to people? What are some of the challenges that you faced, um, just in this space? And you know what? This is what I want to bring to the world. This is what I want to be able to help and impact women with. What are some things that you faced along the way with that?
Some of my biggest challenges, believe it or not, some of my biggest challenges is when I approach women, or when I promote, my services, my business, and how I can help them on their healing journey, is the lash out. People, just what you said earlier, people, this is one topic that women will not deal with. They will not deal with this topic. So I get a lot of lash out about, well, we've been, if a person's been molested, or if a person's been raped or whatever, sexually abused, just, we don't need therapy, we don't need coaching, we don't need this. We just give it to God and we just get over it. But that's
Mm,
not true. So one of the biggest is the lash out, and the people really believe. And I love the Lord as well, and I know He helped me come through it as well. But this is an issue you have to deal with personally. This is something you have to overcome. And so one of the biggest struggles that I've had is I have clients, but it took a whole lot for them to come to me, to do this, because as women, and I deal with women too. I only help women, and in 2024 I'm going to start also helping men as well. But and my husband's going to help me along with this. But I've learned throughout the years that this is an issue that women, we can do and help other people, and we be there for other people. But when it comes to us dealing with our own issue, especially the molestation and the rape, we won't deal with those issues, and a lot of women will just take it to their grave. But this
mm,
is an issue that you have to deal with, you have to overcome. So a lot of the struggles that I've had is even getting women to admit or acknowledge that they need help in this area. So,
yeah. And,
and then,
and that,
especially as a Christian sexual abuse coach, people are look at you and say, well, all you need is Jesus, give it to the Lord. And I'm like, well, even in the Bible, He tells you that in the midst of godly counsel there is safety. What is counsel? It's counseling. So God has anointed people to help you to overcome. We have overcome by the blood. So He has anointed people to help you to overcome this issue. You're not going to just give it to Him and then it's just going to go away. No, you have to overcome this. You have to deal with this. You have to go through a healing journey. And so that's been one of the biggest struggle in this, in my business.
wow. So really that visibility piece of being able to connect with your ideal client and them being someone who is solution seeking. And as it relates to visibility, a lot of that has to do with, you know, and my coach told me, and I actually have it up here on my computer. My coach told me there are three types of people. There's the know-it-all, there's the bargain, and then there's the ready. So the know-it-all, they know, listen, I don't need what you have. I already know everything. I don't need to get any additional assistance. And that sounds like the people that you're coming into contact with. And then there's the ones that try to bargain you down on the cost of your coaching and different things like that.
Yes.
And there's the ones that are ready. They're frustrated, they're tired of being where they are,
Yes.
dealing with problems that they have. And those are the ones that, you know, we really need to be focusing on specifically for you. And so that is something that I find that to be one of the struggles that entrepreneurs face constantly and consistently. So my next question for you, LaShonda, is um, keep it in mind that the folks that you've come into contact with, they're not necessarily ready to take that next step into coaching to get the problem solved that they have. So, can you share maybe a few key strategies that you've used or tips that you've used that have helped you to really navigate this issue of having folks say, you know what, I need your services?
One key strategy that I really have found that works is showing up more. I used to then go live a lot, and I had been praying about it and praying about it, and I started going live, and I noticed the more I went live and the more I talked about this issue, and the more I talked about sexual abuse, then I started getting women who would inbox me, and at first they would ask me questions because people have to be comfortable and know that I am who I say I am. Who is LaShonda Williams? And I hear you talking, but I mean, I don't know you like that. And then in the day and time we live in, you have to be a person of that people can trust. People can trust, because this is something that they've had to live with throughout most of us throughout our whole childhood. That okay, I'm talking to a total stranger. So if I come to you and you say you can help me, what do you offer? Who are you, and how do I know that I can trust you? And then from my own personal experience, I go live a lot because I often tell my testimony of my own personal experience. See, it's one thing to Google information and talk about the statistics and this and that, but it's another thing to actually have experienced it and overcome it. And so I go live more to talk about my experience. Let the women know this is who I am. This is what I offer, and this is what you need. You need this healing journey. This is what's going to help you to become the woman that God has created you to become. But you have to go through this. So one of the key strategies is going live more and interacting more with the people that's on my Facebook, my Instagram, my TikTok. I just go in and just talk about my experiences and talk about the joy that I have now, the peace that I have now. So going live more has become more of a key strategy, because now I have women who inbox me, and a lot of my clients have come from those lives, and they ask questions, and then once they ask questions and I'm able to talk with them, then they become my clients. So one of the key strategies that I've learned to use is to show up more, go live more, interact with my audience more, let them know who I am and what I offer, and that's one of my key strategies. And also, once I speak with those ladies, I assure them that their information is confidential between me and them, and that they are definitely in a safe place with me, them, and God, and it goes no further.
I love
So that's
that. I
one key
absolutely love
strategy.
that. And it sounds like you have, yes, this is a challenge that you face over here with the people saying, I don't need it, I don't need it, we shouldn't have to have it, XYZ. But it sounds like you have on this side a really good strategy to be able to combat those struggles and challenges, which is absolutely phenomenal. So I give you kudos on that, because that's what it's all about, being able
Yes.
to find a way to connect in a very authentic and real way with those people that need the services that you provide, the solutions that you have for them. And so I, the underlying um tone, everything that you do can be a really heavy weight. I recognize that.
Yes.
So my next question for you is, how do you manage work-life balance or work-life harmony? Which I interviewed Shannon Smith, who is in this community as well. some months back, and she actually pinned that term for me. I don't know if she started it. I don't know who started it, but I got it from her. So I'm gonna give her her props. But how do you manage work life balance or work life harmony with such a heavy um, service that you provide for people? How do you manage that?
At first, it was very hard for me. I'm talking about I was drained. I was really drained. But it's when I first started my business because I was trying to balance working a job, a full time job, having this business and having clients. And then I also am married and have a family. So I was trying to balance all this. So I was very, very stressed. I was tired. I was wore out. And then and then we understand the warfare. I tell people all the time, I don't have just a regular business now. I face warfare because every woman that I help and every woman that I'm helping on this healing journey, then I'm going to the enemy is going to come and see me. It's warfare. And then praying for them and also, like I say, keeping balance. So in the beginning, it was very, very hard. But as I began to mature into what God has called me to do, I began to have it balancing it out to where I set my sessions certain times of the evening and certain days. I didn't work. I didn't do anything. I took me some days where I had to recharge. I had to go off to myself to where I just filled myself back up. So I took me a couple of days away from social media, away from everything. I didn't schedule clients. I didn't have to work those days. So I just took time for me to recharge. So that's how I keep because with this, what I do is just not any business. Like I say, it's sexual abuse. And these women, the things that they have gone through, the mental stress, everything that they have gone through, I'm taking that on as well as myself. And I had to really learn how to take time out to recharge and to refuel and just no social media, no clients, no nothing, and just so that I could be there and be charged up to help these women, effectively the way I needed to. So I found out how to balance. And now, even now, I have a job, and I before I go to work, I do some things on my business, work on some business things because I'm also an author. So I have time set aside where I may work a little bit on writing, and then I may get ready to go to work and go do my little hours and then come home, and then I have time for my family, and then I have like maybe certain days of the week I schedule session time. So I learned how to kind of balance it out. But in the beginning, it was very overwhelming. But throughout time, I've learned how to just balance it out and make sure I take me at least 2 days for me to recharge and for me to get fuel back up so that I can effectively be a wife, a mother, and a servant. So that's what I do.
Absolutely great nuggets there that you have provided for us. And I love that you're taking that time out. And yeah, it can be overwhelming in the beginning, but you can absolutely get a rhythm to that harmony, to your
Yeah.
life, your work and your life, so that you're able to do those things. And I just want to confirm you are an introvert, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and so, these are when a lot, because a lot of times people think, oh, being an introvert means that you're not doing these things and you can't be successful and you can't do this and you can't do that. That's not what that means. That means we find ways to do the things that we
Yes.
want to do, that we need to do, but we find ways to do it so that it's beneficial for us and it doesn't drain our energy levels.
Right.
And so, we're able to replenish and do things like that. So I really appreciate you giving us an insight into that. So my last and final question is, LaShonda, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs who are just starting out? Because I feel like there's a lot of there's so many nuggets that you've already given us, but um, especially when you have a business that can possibly potentially be a heavy drain on you. There's some businesses, and we don't want to do levels and say, well, this one is better than that one or more drain. But there are some, for yours, I just feel like it can be a little bit more taxing than say, like, my business, yes, it can be taxing, but I would just imagine yours is probably a little bit more taxing than what I do. So what are some tips or advice that you would have for those starting out just in business in general, just starting their entrepreneurial journey?
I would just like to say that, and you may feel like once you get into it, once you start a business, you are so excited and so thrilled about it, and you go full force into it, and you put commitment into it, dedication, and everything you have into it. Then throughout time, you'll start to feel like, well, you're getting drained, or is this really worth it? You start doubting yourself. You start questioning your, is this what I need to really be doing? And I would just like to say, if those questions or those doubts come to your mind, rebuke them. Do not accept them. And once you make a commitment to something, just do like I did. Find you a rhythm that works for you, and set aside certain times to work on your business, certain time for yourself. And if you have children and family, certain time that you spend with your family. But you have to make sure that you find your rhythm, and don't quit, don't give up, don't just throw it to the side and say, well, I got to work on something else, I got to work and I don't have time. No, because if you do that, you'll throw it on the back burner, and you probably will never go back to that. But just commit to it, and once you commit to it, then find you a rhythm that works for you, and keep on going. It may take months, it may take a year, but just do little bit by little bit, and one day you'll look up and you'll be like, wow, how did I get here? But it takes time, it takes dedication, and it's going to take you some time to just find a rhythm that works for you. But don't quit, don't stop.
I love that. Thank you so much for that. So, this has been a business spotlight for those of you in the community who are watching. Maybe you're watching live, maybe you're watching the replay. I do these on select Saturdays. And if you're interested in a business spotlight, please get in touch with Halima, who is our community manager, and she will get you all situated, ready to go for it. And again, and I explained this in the beginning, I like to do these because if you've never done an interview, you actually get the raw file of your interview, and so you can um, cut it up, you can edit it, you can repurpose it, you can do all the things that you want to do and get it out to as many platforms as you want. A lot of folks don't do that, but I want to give you that opportunity. Also, with doing this, it just gives you the experience of it. And so I want to be able to provide those opportunities for you all to be visible and know what it's like, and to have the support that you need, want, and deserve within our
Yes.
community. I am a business strategist where I am helping women, specifically introverts, really dial into their visibility strategies. And it's key. It's key. There's the only way we're going to get in front of our ideal audience is if we have true strategies. So,
Yes.
LaShonda, any last words of wisdom for those that are listening?
I think it froze, and I didn't hear your question. The live
Okay.
froze.
I was saying any last words of wisdom for those that are tuning in?
Okay, I just like to say that if you have a business that's on your heart, or if you have a business that you're thinking about starting, don't let fear come in to stop you from starting that business. Anything that we do in life, they're gonna have challenges. There it's gonna be some pushback. But if you make a commitment, if you make a dedication to it, and then if you find your way to make to where it works for you, find a rhythm that works for you. I guarantee you, you will one day. I can't tell you when or how long, but if you keep that up, one day it will work for you. Everything will come together, but you have to be dedicated and committed to it. You can't be so quick to throw in the towel, or give that business plan up and just throw it on the back burner. Because if we look at a lot of success for entrepreneurs, if they did that, they would not be where they are today. So it makes it, you take one step, you take another step, but you just build little by little, and stay committed and dedicated to it. And I guarantee you one day that business is going to flourish. It is going to work. And then I would like to even say this: if it don't work the first time, go back and try it again. Don't
That's
ever just
it.
give up
That's
on it.
it. That's
Go back
it.
and try it again.
100%. LaShonda, how can we find you? What's your website?
Well, I don't have a website. I'm on Facebook. I'm getting
Okay.
a website, my website created now. It's not quite finished
Okay.
yet, so I don't have a website page, but I do have. I'm on Facebook,
Okay.
and I promote my business on my Facebook page, Instagram, and as well as TikTok. So I'm on Facebook as LaShonda Williams, and I do lives on there. I have a group for women who
Okay.
have been sexually abused. I have a group called Overcoming Issues of Life. Women who have been sexually abused, who struggle from depression, anxiety, mental health issues. That group is for just for women, and I teach in that group. I do prayer with those women, and it's called Overcoming Issues of Life, and that's on Facebook as well.
Okay. I love it. I absolutely love it. 100%. So thank you so very much again for doing this business spotlight. I love to do these within our community. I love to learn more about folks. If there's anything that I can do further to help support you in your success in 2024 for your business, LaShonda, please feel free to reach out to me. This is absolutely amazing. And so be sure to look out for your file sometime within the next 24 to 48 hours from Halama, so that you can repurpose this interview, because that's what we're all about here at Rise and Thrive Womenpreneurs Community. So I want to thank you once again for stopping by, and I will see you later.
And thank you also for this opportunity.
You are very welcome. Bye bye.
Bye bye.